All right, so are you ready to dive into this mountain of info on becoming a secondary school PE teacher?
I am.
Because you've handed us a ton.
Yeah.
It seems like you really want to go beyond just the basics here.
Yeah.
Like, we've got practical guides, real-life stories, interview prep. It's like you want the inside scoop on what it really takes to make this a career. And that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
We're going to sift through all of it, pull out the most interesting and important stuff.
Love it.
So you don't have to.
Right from the get-go, it's amazing how much deeper this role is than just teaching kids sports skills.
Right. One of the sources even used the word holistic,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So let's paint a picture.
Right.
What does a PE teacher actually do all day? Beyond, like, the stereotypical image.
Well, picture this. You're a PE teacher, and you notice a few students are kind of like, always zoning out during warm-ups, you know? It's not just teenage energy, you realize. They're actually dealing with, like, stress and anxiety. So you decide, you know what? I'm going to incorporate a few minutes of mindfulness.
Interesting.
Like some focused breathing techniques before each class.
Wow. Did the source mention how the students responded to that?
They did. They were, a little hesitant at first.
Yeah.
But after a few weeks, even the ones who were like, I don't know about this, were saying, you know what? I actually feel calmer. I'm more focused during class.
That's amazing.
Which is a perfect example of how PE teachers are really bringing this mental well-being element into their lessons.
It really shows how much more this is than just the physical, right?
Yeah.
It's about understanding the whole student.
Exactly. And it's not just something they're doing by themselves. There's a big trend, it seems, toward collaboration. PE teachers aren't just stuck in the gym anymore, They're talking to other teachers, they're talking to parents,
Oh, wow.
even administrators, to like create this web of support around each student.
So it's like a whole team approach.
Yeah, a team approach to helping these kids really thrive.
I love that.
And that's something to really remember as you explore this as a career.
Okay.
It's not just how much you love fitness, it's how willing you are to be a part of this network to really make a difference.
So insightful. All right, so we've busted that myth of just the whistle-blowing, dodgeball dodging stereotype.
Yeah.
But what about actually becoming a PE teacher? Because the sources mention needing a degree in things like kinesiology.
Yeah.
And, I didn't major in that, so I'm curious, what is that?
Imagine you're in a kinesiology class and you're breaking down the biomechanics of a tennis serve.
Okay.
It's not just hit the ball hard. It's how does your body actually move? How do those muscles work together? Like, what's the physics of it all? That's kinesiology, the science of how humans move.
So you're giving PE teachers X-ray vision into the body. That's so cool.
Exactly. And it's really useful. Let's say you're teaching a kid to throw a baseball and their shoulder keeps getting hurt.
Yep.
Kinesiology background. You're not just going to correct their form. You're going to understand, okay, what's the mechanics behind this injury?
Oh, wow.
And how can we stop it from happening again?
So it's preventative, too.
Exactly.
I never would have thought about it like that.
And it's not just kinesiology. They talk about exercise science a lot, too.
Okay.
And that's about how the body reacts to activity, from like the cells all the way up to, fitness.
Right.
So it's about knowing how to match activities to different fitness levels, how to challenge students safely.
So you're giving them, like, this incredible toolbox of knowledge.
Yeah.
Not just to, be good at sports, but to understand and take care of their bodies.
Exactly. And it's not all about, hitting the books.
Okay.
They stress this a lot. Practical experience. You wouldn't expect someone to be a chef just from reading cookbooks, right?
Right.
They have to actually get in the kitchen, figure out the flavors, how to make it all work. Same for PE teachers. They got to get that experience.
That makes sense. They mentioned internships, volunteering, even coaching as good experience.
Yeah.
But how does that actually make someone a better PE teacher?
Okay, so let's say you're coaching a youth soccer team.
Okay.
You're not just teaching them drills. You're learning how to communicate with different types of kids,
Right.
manage how everyone interacts, how to deal with losing,
Right.
all that.
Yeah.
Those are the things you need in the classroom, too.
It's like you get a master class in leadership and how to work with people on top of the technical stuff.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
They talked about showcasing all that, like athletes have highlight reels.
Yeah.
They said build a portfolio, but not just any portfolio,
Okay, what does a PE teacher's highlight reel look like? I've got to know.
Imagine you go into the interview and instead of just talking about lesson plans, you pull out your tablet
Oh, wow.
And it's a video montage.
Okay.
You've got clips of you leading this inclusive basketball game, helping kids through a tough yoga pose, even showing off this creative warm-up routine you made with recycled materials.
That's amazing.
Right.
That's way better than just a resume.
Yeah, it shows your passion,
Yeah.
your creativity, how you take those ideas from the books and make them fun and inclusive.
It's like you're showing who you are as a teacher.
Exactly.
Okay, so we should be recording those coaching sessions.
Yeah.
Volunteering, those moments that make you stand out. It's all valuable.
It all paints that picture.
I love it. Okay, so we've covered what it's like day to day, the schooling,
Yeah.
the hands-on experience, even how to show it off.
Right.
But what about once you're working? Can you move up in this field? Or is it the same every year?
That's a good question. They were pretty clear about career progression. You usually start entry level.
Okay.
You get some experience, build a reputation.
So you're not just thrown in there with no help.
No. You'll have mentors, department heads, other teachers to help you those first years.
Okay, good to know.
Then, as you get better, more confident, you can become a junior and then a senior PE teacher.
So there is a way to move up. What's that actually look like? Like, what are the perks of those higher level roles?
Let's say you've been teaching a while, you're good at it, and you love using new technology in PE class.
Okay.
As a senior teacher, you might lead workshops for other teachers.
Oh, wow.
Share what, helps shape the whole department.
So you could be a leader and innovator.
Exactly. And with more responsibility, you can often get more resources.
Okay.
Start new programs, really leave your mark on how the school sees PE.
That's awesome. It's bigger than just teaching kids. It's changing how we see health and wellness in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
And speaking of the future, they highlighted something I think you'll like. Continuous learning.
Now, when I hear continuous learning, I think back to those professional development days.
Yeah.
Not the most exciting.
Not quite the same. This is about really keeping up in a field that's always changing.
Right.
Think about it. New research on kids' fitness, new ways to teach.
Oh, yeah.
Technology changing how we see exercise. You got to keep up.
So always be curious, keep learning, be ready to adapt as a teacher.
Exactly. And it wasn't just a small mention.
Yeah.
They had some really cool ideas for continuous learning that I think you'll find interesting. Remember we were saying kinesiology is like seeing the body with X-ray vision?
Yeah.
Now imagine going even further into sports psychology.
Okay.
It's like almost mind reading.
Whoa, really?
Not really, of course.
Right.
But you learn how things like motivation, confidence, even anxiety
Yeah.
affect how a student performs.
So you're giving PE teachers the tools to, like, coach the mind, too. Are there examples of that in the sources?
Definitely. One was about a teacher using sports psychology to help a kid who was scared of swimming.
Wow.
They didn't just focus on the swimming itself, but on visualizing positive self-talk.
Oh, interesting.
All about building confidence to beat that fear.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Shows how important that mental side is.
For sure. And if you're into the science-y part of exercise, there's exercise physiology too.
Okay, yeah.
That's like becoming the curriculum's personal trainer.
Right.
Knowing how different workouts, food, even genetics affect a kid's fitness.
So PE lessons become really personalized.
Exactly. And it can go beyond each student. With that knowledge, you could even suggest changes to school lunches,
Oh, wow.
Make the whole school environment about healthy eating.
This whole continuous learning thing is amazing. You're not just a PE teacher. You're always learning about human potential.
Exactly. And speaking of learning, one last hurdle, the interview.
Right.
The sources had some great tips for that huge database of interview questions we talked about.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Over 120,000? It seemed like a gold mine.
It's not just about memorizing answers, though.
Okay.
It's about getting what they're really asking. Like, they might say, how would you adapt your teaching for a student with a physical disability?
That's a good one.
It's not just knowing the lesson plan, it's showing you can make things work for every kid.
Yeah, showing you care.
And that's where those real-life experiences come in. You can talk about coaching different kids or volunteering with a group that helps athletes with disabilities.
You're showing empathy, that you can solve problems, that you're all about being inclusive. What other kinds of questions should I expect?
Be ready to talk about handling a classroom. They might say, what do you do if a student's being disruptive during a team activity?
Oh, okay.
Now, don't just jump to punishments. Think about setting clear rules beforehand.
Right.
Building good relationships, creating that respectful vibe from the start.
So it's about being more than just the sports person, but someone who builds a good learning space.
Exactly. And remember the tip about recording yourself answering questions?
Yeah.
They even suggested checking out RoleCatcher's AI tool.
Oh, yeah.
It listens to your answers, tells you if you're talking too fast, your tone, even your body language.
It's like having a personal coach for interviews.
Pretty much.
That's incredible.
And, wrapping up this whole deep dive, it's clear that being a PE teacher now, it's not what it used to be.
It's so much more than just sports. It's being a mentor, someone who champions wellness, someone who's always learning too. It's about getting the next generation excited about being healthy and reaching their full potential.
Well said. And I think you've definitely got the passion and drive to do amazing in this field.
Thanks. I feel super inspired and ready to tackle this career path. And for everyone listening, we hope this deep dive got you thinking and showed you how cool and important being a secondary school PE teacher really is. Maybe you'll be the one inspiring those future generations to love movement and well-being. That's it for today. Keep on exploring, everyone.